Blunt Talk with LT, episode 42. This episode's brought to you by StackGwop.com, StackGwop.com/shop for your StackGwop SGE merch. This episode's also brought to you by my sponsors, The Infatuation and Anchor. Infatuation is an app for food on the go. They can help you out. You just, hit up the Infatuation app or theinfatuation.com. Anchor is a podcasting app where you can set up a free hosting and host your podcast on Anchor, whether it be from your phone, from your studio. Anchor hooks you up with the platform needed to podcast. All right, so we're gonna get into this shit. You can see me wearing my red Raptors hat right now. You gotta support, you know what I mean? Gotta support the city when the city's in the finals. People wanted me to make my predictions from time, and it took me a while to get back on the podcast. Been away for 2 weeks now. Just a podcast, took a little break, whatever. I didn't want to make my predictions. Well, I've been telling people my predictions, but for the most part, it's not spread to the masses. There's just individual conversations. Before the series started, I had these predictions, and it's horrible because when you have predictions and then it follows through of what's actually happening right now, like it plays out, but you don't actually verbalize it to the world. It's like, were those really your predictions? You have to make them and you have to put them on the air prior for people to believe all the shit you said. I've had individual conversations before this podcast, so the people that know my predictions, but whatever, I ain't trying to convince everybody else. I looked at this series, and I thought the Raptors would win the first game. I'm like, Golden State's been off for way too long. They're going to try to integrate some pieces like DeMarcus Cousins and, Iguodala's getting back healthy. So I was thinking, they're going to be rusty for the first game. And I was right. The Raptors won game one. But my predictions didn't start there. For me, I want the Raptors to win. This is it's hard when you have a bias and you want a team to win because they're your city and you're just like, fuck, we gotta win this chip. But I took a step back and I had to look at it objectively. And if there's no real serious injuries from here on out, like if Clay actually returns and, everybody stays healthy, or from what it was from the beginning of what my actual prediction was, because my prediction doesn't start from now. It started from before. I thought Golden State was going to win in 6. I have Golden State winning in 6. My predictions are that the Raptors will win the first game. Golden State will win the next 3. The Raptors would win game 5. Golden State would win game 6. That's just how I see it going personally. I don't want it to go that way, but that's just looking at it from an objective standpoint of just analyzing the teams and what we see and how it can go. But you never know. Just without KD's not coming back. They always talk about, is KD coming back for game 5, game 4, game 6. Nah, he ain't coming back. I don't see him coming back for the rest of the series. He's not practicing yet. He's still limping and shit. It's like, nah, he ain't coming back. And they could win without him. Kawhi's injured. People don't want to face that reality. Kawhi is not doesn't have the same explosiveness. He doesn't have the same legs under his shot. So it's not like we're getting 100% Kawhi, so we can be confident behind that. We don't have that right now. So it's just good that they actually made the finals. Kawhi's gonna leave. He's bought a house. Well, people say he bought a property. That's the new report coming out that Kawhi bought, not a house. He bought a property. Earlier, 4 months ago, I got a report that he bought a house. I don't know how valid that was, but for him to buy, he was offered a free penthouse suite, a big nice ass penthouse suite in a condo downtown, close to the Scotiabank Arena, and he could stay there for however long. I can't remember how long. I think they gave it to him free forever. This is his property. He would own it. It's not like a rental. It's not like, oh, you're just staying here for this amount of time. Like, they just gave him the actual penthouse. So I think he would own that. I don't know if that's the place he actually went with, if he actually bought a place like they're saying. But a lot of his comments are super cryptic and kind of imply that he's planning to dip, or I don't know. But he's leaving a lot of money on the table if he dips again. He left a lot of money when he left the Spurs. When he left a lot of money on the table because that's super max. Then if he leaves again, he's not going to be able to sign a 5-year. He's going to have to sign a 4-year for whatever he joins, and the money goes down too. So it's like leaving a lot of money on the table if he leaves. I don't know, man. If you win a championship here, which I do not think is going to happen this year, you can do what the fuck you want. I don't like, why would you leave? Like, the endorsements, the money in here, the whole branding, everything would be savage if you win that championship. But if you don't, you still made it to the finals with this squad. But at the end of the day, this squad doesn't have much left in it. The best players on this squad, or the veteran players, are just getting older and not going to be able to play in the next couple of years. Like, how long does Marc Gasol have left in his NBA career? How long does Kyle Lowry have as an all-star in this league? Being 32 or 30? I can't remember. He's like 32, and he's a small guard, so that's gonna be hard for him in his latter years. We seen what happened with Chris Paul. Chris Paul's dropping off precipitously, so I don't know. It's a tough sell to sell him here. It's not like he has all his friends in his shit in Toronto. It's like he's cool with Danny Green. Danny Green came with him from the Spurs. That's about it. It's hard sell. But yeah, a lot of people are going to be very pissed off at my predictions. But these are just predictions. It's not what I want to happen. It's just what I think is going to happen from an analytical, standpoint. Oh, right. So that's the fucking finals for you. I don't mind if I'm just happy the Raptors, because I'm not really, there's diehard Raptors fans. Those people aren't just happy that the Raptors made the finals. They want the Raptors to win everything. They want them to win the whole chip. So for me, I would definitely be much happier if they won the chip, because that's history, and that's probably the only time it's gonna happen. I don't see it happening in the future. It's not an easy sell to build a franchise up in Canada the way the Americans look at a Toronto team or a Canadian team. It's a hard sell. People aren't going to you really have to build through the draft and build through the trades the way they've done. And they've built they built to a point where it's so good. It's like, how can you build any better than this without people just willingly wanting to come to Toronto and play? And it's not an easy, that's why I don't see them making it back to the finals or pushing for a finals victory if Kawhi leaves, or in the near future, even if he stays. So this is their one shot. I could see how people would be desperate to get it now, and I would definitely want them to win the chip now. But if they don't, it's not the end of the world for me. I'm not going to be a broken diehard fan. That's not what I am. I'm not that type of Raptors fan. I'm a LeBron James fan first. But LeBron James ain't even playing right now because the Lakers didn't make the playoffs with all these injuries. So, riding with the Raptors right now. Yeah, Raptors fans, don't be hitting me up my fucking Twitter talking shit because I make predictions. It is what it is. Yeah, all right, we're gonna move on from this basketball shit. I hope the Raptors do win, and if the Raptors do win, it'll definitely be in 7. It's not going to be in no 6 like Max Kellerman thinks. Nah, they'll have to drag. They're not winning in Oracle and, taking them out like that. They'll win. They could win a game in Oracle, but they're not winning to close out the series in Oracle. It's not happening. Not happening. All right, so Anthony Joshua. Let me stick on sports before I move on to the other shit. Anthony Joshua got fucked up by Andy Ruiz. What the fuck was that? What in the fuck was that? This guy just butchered the whole, we ain't getting that Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua fight anymore. That's just done. We ain't getting that. And if we do get it, we don't care to see it the same way. For me, I already knew Deontay Wilder will fuck his shit up. I've been on record saying that I think Deontay Wilder would win that fight. Been on record. I said it multiple times, even on the podcast. And now we it's pretty much confirmed. Like, who in the right mind thinks Anthony Joshua could beat Deontay Wilder after seeing him getting pieced up by Ruiz like that? Like, they called the man Butterbean. Built like Butterbean. And he's taking you out like that. I don't know, man. That was Anthony Joshua looked super fucked up that day. He looked from the start, before the fight even started, he looked like nervous or out of sorts, or he just looked uncomfortable. He didn't look like he was in his element. And then when he got hit by that right hand over the back of his ear, like it was like pretty much the back of the head, kind of fucked up his whole fuck, what's that word I'm looking for right now? It fucked up his whole equilibrium, and yeah, he lost balance and shit, and he was never the same after that hit in round 3. Although he recovered and fought, other rounds, he was just not the same. He was just bad luck. And it's like, the thing is, people put him on a high pedestal, but he didn't even have 30 belts. Didn't have 30 professional belts. We have mans like Deontay Wilder that has 40 knockouts. He's knocked out everybody he's fought except Tyson Fury, which was a draw, but he knocked him down too, and he got up like the Undertaker. But you know what I mean? It took that type of performance to survive a Deontay Wilder, and people were selling that Anthony Joshua could beat him. Like, he had the same amount of knockouts as Ruiz. Ruiz had more fights though, more victories, 1 loss on his belt. Now his record's better than yours. It's like there's a lot of people. I'm not saying Anthony Joshua didn't beat anybody good, or he wasn't like putting in any type of work, and he had all these belts, so clearly he was a champion. He was taking out motherfuckers, but at the same time, there was still the Tyson Furies of the world, the Deontay Wilders of the world, the Ortizes of the world, the Ruiz of the world. Like, these motherfuckers that he didn't go through. It's like, I don't know, man. Not a good look for Anthony Joshua. Not a good look for the Brits. These guys were peace. That's what always happens, man. These niggas come to the States and fuck up their record. It happened with Ricky Hatton. He was just destroying mans in the UK, undefeated and shit. Came to America, and Floyd Mayweather destroyed him. Then he tried to fight Pacquiao. Pacquiao retired him. It's like, it's what happens to these guys. They're like, oh yeah, Anthony Joshua's built like an action figure. Yeah, that's great and all, but do you see how Deontay Wilder hits? Like, Deontay Wilder, fuck, man, that nigga just throws bombs. It's ridiculous. It's like he's throwing cement bricks at niggas. Like, when he hit, what's his face? Dominique Brazil, like, that shit was... That was like one of the loudest. That sounded like someone was shutting a garage loud or some shit, the way the man got hit. Like, that shit was fucked. All right. So, wow, I have this written down so wrong. Millionaire. No, switch that to a B. Jay-Z is officially a billionaire. So, Jay-Z is now officially a billionaire, and that is not, I'm pretty sure that is not including, well, I'm not pretty sure that, I'm 100% sure that's not including Beyonce's net worth or Beyonce's finances. That's just all on Jay-Z, and I'm pretty sure Beyonce's pretty much there too. This is ridiculous, but Jay-Z's officially a billionaire, and they're announcing it as Jay-Z's hip hop's first billionaire. But is he hip hop's first billionaire? Maybe. I thought Dr. Dre was hip hop's first billionaire. I guess I don't know which way they're trying to spin it. I don't fucking know. But regardless, that's big news for the hip hop community. You know, not just the hip-hop community. It's just any Jay-Z fan, period. You don't have to be a part of the hip-hop community to be a Jay-Z fan or supporter. Yeah. Good look for Jay. Billionaire. Set the blueprint from time. So, that's a big one. All right. Moving on. So... I was listening to Joe Rogan podcast, and he had John Witherspoon on. John Witherspoon was also Pops from the Wayans brothers. Was it called the Wayans Bros? The show with Marlon and Sean. I can't even remember what the fuck the show was called now. Yeah, whatever. He was Pops, and now he's been in a bunch of movies. He has, stand-up community. Whoa, stand-up comedian. He was on Joe Rogan, and he basically spilled the beans that there's going to be another season of the Boondocks dropping sometime soon. And that is big news because Boondocks was one of the best shows, one of the funniest comedies, one of the, like, it was like almost like an anime, the way they fucking, the drawings and the animation. It was just, Boondock coming back is big news. So, look out for that shit. I don't have a fucking date on that. I don't think he mention the date on that either, but it's just big that the Boondocks is coming back. The last season was kind of short, a little underwhelming, a little disappointing. They had Uncle Ruckus on the Breakfast Club as an interview randomly, like a month or 2 months ago, some random shit. So it's like that should have been some foreshadowing that, the motherfucker's still in character playing Uncle Ruckus, talking all this shit, that they might put together another Boondock season. But even Uncle Ruckus, when he was on the Breakfast Club, he didn't spill no beans about no Boondocks, new season coming around. But John Witherspoon didn't give a fuck. He kind of pulled Mark Ruffalo and just, dropped the spoilers on motherfuckers. Well, he didn't drop spoilers. He didn't tell anybody about anything that's going on in the episodes, but just merely saying that the season's coming back and the show's coming back is big news. I'm surprised that didn't blow up. It didn't get taken by all these media sources, and I guess people just don't care as much as people like me and people I know in my timeline and shit. These motherfuckers is all over that. All right, so this is just random. This is not even news. This is just some shit I think that's also from Rogan. Yeah, nigga was talking about a black jiu-jitsu black belt that was also a rapist, and that is one of the most fucked up things in life for a man to be a jiu-jitsu black belt. And if people don't understand the art of jiu-jitsu, that is grappling, ground game grappling, submissions, rear naked chokes, triangles, arm triangles, guillotines, all you know what I mean? Like that a rapist, a black belt jiu-jitsu rapist, like what the fuck? Who taught this motherfucker? Like that nigga needs to be killed. I don't know if it's a nigga. I don't know. I shouldn't say nigga. Like I don't know if he's a black guy or whatever. But black belt in jiu-jitsu and you're a rapist. Fuck that. Someone kill this motherfucker. A serial rapist, black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, fuck. This is why guns, you should be allowed to have some sort of guns, protect the women. What is a woman going to do with fucking pepper spray if a black belt in jiu-jitsu is trying to run up on her? And then if a man tries to save her, that's still a black belt in jiu-jitsu. The man might get fucked up same ways. Both get raped. Fucked up. That's fucked up, man. Like, where did I find this shit at, man? Where did I find this shit at? That shit's fucked all the way up. I don't have any more topics. For a returning episode after being away for 2 weeks, you would have thought I would have fucking wrote down a little more topics instead of thinking I could, contain them in my head. And then, free speak a pod. It's not going to happen when you're this rusty. I should probably take off this Raptors hat. I don't really believe in the Raptors like that. Back to the Stat Gwop SGE hat. Bend that brimming. StatGwop.com/shop. Get one of these, but fresh though, not one of these old ass motherfuckers. I should peel out a fresh one out the club. You know what I mean? Fuck am I doing right now? Shit. What else we got? What else we got to talk about real quick? The thing is, I don't like making announcements. I'd rather just pop up with the shit that I have to showcase to the world, because I wanted to discuss another thing, but I hate when people do this. I hate when people are on podcasts and they talk about the things that they're about to discuss or the things that they have in their mind and they're not telling the public, and then they never tell the public and the public has to wait. And that's pretty much what I'm doing right now, because I'm not spilling the beans until I actually have the shit underway, because I don't like talking about shit that, people like, yo, when's this coming? When's this coming? Yo, you spoke about this. Announcing shit doesn't come out. Like, nah, I ain't doing that. So, just be on the lookout. I respect people for continuing to subscribe to the Blunt Talk with LT's page, Blunt Talk with LT page, and the Stat Gwop page, even when, I haven't been active in the past week, 2 weeks with the uploads. Thank you for the continued support. We're gonna build this show. The show's gonna just get a lot better. Just building with time and support from the supporters and momentum. Everything's just gonna continue to get bigger and bigger, and the show's gonna have more guests and more interviews and more crazy shit, more effects, more. It's just gonna continue to grow. So I say this a lot, but you know what I mean? Subscribe, stay tuned, hit that like button, share episodes that you like. Join in on the conversation. Leave a comment below if you disagree with my my picks for the Raptors versus the Golden State Warriors. Hit up the comment below. Tell me your take and why. Let me know if you think KD is leaving next season or he's gonna stay. And also let me know who you think's better, KD or Kawhi, because we've been having this debate, not just in the media, just in personal life and shit. Like people talking about KD, Kawhi, and who's better. And for me, it's a very difficult one to compare KD and Kawhi. But when they actually play each other, who would you rather have? Kawhi pretty much locks down everybody, but I don't think he really locks down KD. There's certain people that he can't really lock down. Like, he can put a body on them, he can make it more difficult, but he's the best defender in the league, one of the best defenders of all time, but he can't lock down KD. Give KD some problems, but KD's scoring on anybody. He can't lock down LeBron. Give LeBron a little bit of problems, but LeBron's scoring on anybody. And the way Kawhi's hobbled right now in the playoffs, if they had to play the Cavaliers with LeBron from last year coming to the final, they would, same Raptors team, just adding Kawhi and Marc Gasol, I still think the Cleveland Cavaliers will beat them in 5-6 games. But the Raptors stack up better against Golden State than the Cleveland Cavaliers do. But the Cavs were terrible defensively, but their offense, you're not really stopping them, especially LeBron. You're not stopping them. They threw Pascal at him last year. He did nothing. But he's more improved this year. He's a much better player this year. But still, I don't see it. I would not see that happening. I don't know. I kind of got sidetracked with this shit. With that being said, see, I was about to sit up here and say, yeah, Kawhi is definitely he's the best player playing other than LeBron, because LeBron's not playing, so he's pretty much the best player out right now, or the best player alive, because he took out Giannis. Giannis really folded and showed that he wasn't on their level. See, AD's not playing either. Anthony Davis is kind of getting overlooked because he's not in the playoffs either. But it's really between Kawhi and KD, and I'm pretty much just going on and on and on before I make my pick. If we had KD on the Raptors, would we be in the finals right now? No, we wouldn't, because he got injured and he didn't continue to play the way Kawhi did. Kawhi got injured somewhat and still played. Will we get by Philly with KD and the team we have right now? Will we get by Milwaukee with KD and the team we have right now? I don't know. I don't think so. And that's the thing, because offensively he can definitely drop 40, 50 on these motherfuckers, but he's not locking people up the same way Kawhi is. KD's a decent defender. They're overrating his defense nowadays, but he's not locking niggas up the way Kawhi is. I would rather have Kawhi on the team the way it is right now than KD. And people can't dispute that because we're in the finals, 1-1 with Golden State. You can't say you would rather have KD because where would KD have you? Would he be in the finals, 1-1 Golden State? Maybe. But Kawhi's actually here and we have him. So it's like, I'm leaning towards Kawhi with that one. But who's actually better? Kawhi gets injured a lot. So does KD. Around the same age. Kawhi's a bit younger. Kawhi's defense. I'm leaning Kawhi. Let me know what you guys feel in the comment section. Kawhi or KD. I'm leaning Kawhi right now, but let me know. All right, this has been Blunt Talk with LT. StackWap.com. You're